Hello Starcraft fans, this is falconpaladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Shadow and Nabetse on Dash and Terminal, the latter edition. This was submitted to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. Thanks again to Squeaks, my screener, who goes through all of the replays that I get and finds the very best ones, so I can bring you very excellent play in StarCraft 2, the Legacy of the Void beta. Alright, so I just learned that the beta will close on November 2nd and retail doesn't launch until November 10th, but don't you worry, StarCraft fans, Falcon Paladin has you taken care of. I will put a buffer up on my YouTube channel, which just means I cast a whole bunch of games and put them to schedule all through that week. And when the retail launches, hopefully I'll have a whole bunch of new replays and new sources of replays, because right now it's kind of hard to find ones from professional players, which is I know a lot of you guys want that, and I'm really trying to work my hardest to make sure that happens. All right, in the top of Dash and Terminal, the latter edition, we have the red Zerg player. It is Shadow. And in the right side of Dash and Terminal, the latter edition, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Nabetse rather. I think I said Nabeste before, but it is Nabetse. Good scouting here from the drone, just making sure nothing crazy is happening, and again, just walling off. Here is Nabetse. Again, that's something that you don't really have to do as Protoss against Zerg. You can kind of keep everything close to the vest here, close to your nexus, because Photon Overcharge is so darn good. It turns pylons into little overcharged machines that do 30 damage with every hit for 11 seconds, which is kind of crazy against Zerg here. Probe on drone action there. Drone continuing to scout. I think he might be. No, he's not walled in. He just wanted to stick around anyway. Cybernetics core coming up. Double gas here coming out from Nabetse at the same time. Likely going to be an Adept opening, because you know what? Adepts are really good. Extractor, spawning pool, hatchery for Shadow at the same time. Likely a hatch first based on the timing on that hatchery, and indeed it definitely was. Again, you can afford to do this. This drone trying to run away. Using the mineral walk. Good job there. And turning into an extractor. Stealing both of the extractors for Nabetse, and then changing his mind, heading back on. Nope. Wants to get more and more of that scouting action up. Look at how active Shadow is being with his Zergling or drones here. Just bouncing up, just making sure nothing too crazy or untoward is happening from the Zerg player or the Protoss player to workers on each of these assimilators. That's something I've seen that tells me for sure it is Adepts, and yes, there's the Adept. Here are Queens popping out of the hatcheries. Excellent timings here for sure. Average APM is pretty not too good, I guess. I was going to say pretty fantastic, but just the Protoss one, about 160 is nice. The Zerg is down around 81 or so. And honestly, my APM is not the biggest one I play. It's just because I don't like to spam click at the early part of the game. Is there an effective APM? Is that a thing? I don't know. Maybe there is, but hey. What is heading on over here? Mothership Core heading across the map to get some aggression in all by her lonesome. I guess the Adept will be here to help, but the Queen should be able to handle the Mothership Core all by herself. And then assuming there are a few ground units here to deal with the Adept, the Zerg player should be just fine. Good inject. Good timing there. And what is in production tab? Nothing. It's all just workers. Why wouldn't you make anything to defend here? Oh boy. Alright, Shadow's in a lot of trouble. Here comes the Mothership Core. Here comes the Adept. The Queen really needs to kill that Mothership Core very quickly. Perhaps just leaving the drones to die. Evacuating the drones might be a better choice here, but look at this. The Queen does have enough DPS to actually take down the Mothership Core, assuming that the Adept isn't helping there, but even with the Adept helping. Oh no, the Mothership Core escapes with 16 hit points. Drones are forced to come in and try to help kill this Adept, and they do manage to do it. The Queen down to 45 hit points of her own. Very sad that she wasn't able to kill that Mothership Core. And oh, the Adept comes in, a second Adept does manage to kill the Queen. And the drones are forced to pull off the line once again, trying to get a surround on this Adept. Psionic transfer used, though, to keep the Adept alive, running across the creep. So many drones are dying here. Good micro here, taking individual shots, but not really dying. The Lings chasing after the Adept. Oh, Psionic transfer again. Brings it. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. It's up here now. Oh boy, the drones are forced to retreat all the way back home. The Queen wants to kill this Adept, and she will be able to do so. The Adept ends up dead. Roach Warren on the way here. Spore Crawler and a Queen do finally kill the Mothership Core. And Shadow is going back to mining here at the natural base. So 32 to 30 total harvesters. Nabetse is ahead. Was expanding during that attack. Very excellent play indeed. And so many gateways coming down here. 3 gateways at the same time for Nabetse. It looks like maybe like a 7 or 6 gate type play here. There's another gateway. I don't see any sign of a robotics facility or a Robo Bay, rather, or a Twilight Council. So it looks like this might just be straight up gateway units, which can be okay as another Adept gets taken down. But again, so many workers died. A lot of lost mining time here as well for these drones. Roach Warren is up, and Shadow just continues to make drones. 7 drones on the way, is not deterred by this constant harassment, wants to get up as many workers as humanly possible, possibly take a 3rd base. Shadow has just about enough money to do it. Nope, instead, where did that money go? Production tab shows, 5 roaches. 5 roaches on the way. I like the roaches against gateway plays from the Protoss, but there's the robotics facility. I was going to say, we don't usually see pure gateway attacks from Protoss anymore just because disruptors are so good. And it's just so very, very nice. The sentries here as well. It's going to be a sentry immortal attack. A sentry disruptor attack would be interesting, just to kind of keep the units away from the disruptor while the Purification Nova is out there. Would take a lot of good timing. Ravagers on the way for Shadow. Ravagers do pretty well against sentries because the 60 damage corrosive bile that hits does splash damage. So just 2 of those is enough to actually kill a sentry and its friends if they're clumped up like that. So I'll have to see if there can be some good hits here from Shadow or not. There are some Stalkers moving on up. Stalkers against Ravagers, and these numbers, I'm going to have to go with the Ravagers here. Nabetse should probably just head on home. It does back on out. Corrosive Bile actually hitting Shadow there. Again, the spell, I think, just takes a little bit too long to hit. I'm going to be honest with you there. Popping on out is an Observer. That's usually the first thing out of that Robotics Bay. Another Nexus coming on down. 3 Nexus here for Nabetse before the Zerg player's even taken a 3rd one of his own. Here come the Ravagers, here come the Lings, and pretty good concave here. The sentries standing on end. Corrosive Bile once again can be very good, but the Ravagers can't really get through except on this left side, just squeezing right on through those force fields, taking down a single Stalker. Triple Photon Overcharge coming up though. Trying to run for their lives are the Ravagers. They really can't. They're force fielded in. There's nowhere for them to go. Tickle cannons from the sentries are killing Ravagers, and the rest of the reinforcements are forced to turn around and head on home. Nabetse holding that very, very well indeed. Warp Prism on the way. Speed for the Lings. Recognizing there's a lot of Stalkers here. Lings might be a better answer than Ravagers. Man, the death animation for Ravagers is amazing. Look at that. Oh, they explode. Roaches are okay too. They explode pretty big. But just something with the Ravagers is a little bit more pretty. This push looking very, very scary right now for Nabetse. Very strong as well. Coming on up, killing an Overlord, getting right onto the creep there. Time Warp being thrown down on these units, force fielding away the Roaches and the Ravagers, dodging the Corrosive Bile like a pro. This is a pretty big army here from Nabetse. Can he actually kill this base or not? Instead, backing out, making sure there's not a 3rd. Mothership Core taking shots from the Queen. Might end up dead if she is not careful. A sentry does fall. Corrosive Bile pretty much whipping there once more. And there was a Spore Crawler here. I'm not sure where that went. Stalkers left behind as the rest of the army retreats. Nabetse doesn't really like the position right now. More and more Roaches and Ravagers are continuing to be made. It's 44 probes to 36 total drones. This is what an aggressive Protoss can do. Aggressive Protoss players, as their immortals on the way. Additional gateways kind of placed willy-nilly here all over the place. Mothership Core. Oh, nope. I think that was an Overlord that might have died to those Stalkers. Warp Prism loads up with those Stalkers and heading up here for reasons. I thought maybe it was going to be attacking the main, but instead just heading on home. Oh, maybe changing his mind. As Nabetse says, you know what, maybe I will attack the main base today. I had my Wheaties this morning. I'm feeling very strong and rested and ready to go. Big push here from Roaches and Ravagers. Any upgrades whatsoever? No. No upgrades at all. Mothership Core here. Might get some Corrosive Biles thrown on its face. No. Yes. Trying to get it, but whiff. Doing no damage whatsoever. The Stalkers do drop here in the main. They're going after drones. Drones are dying left and right. Adepts being warped in at the same time, and the drones are forced to evacuate all the way back down to the 2nd base. It's the 3rd base up, but it's not quite ready yet, and the Roach Warren is under fire. Is Shadow just going for it here? He says, we're going to base race this Protoss with Roaches and Ravagers. I don't know if this is a good idea, but he's going to try to make it happen anyway. Corrosive Bile, wham, wham, wham. Triple Photon Overcharge here at the front door pretty much means that Shadow can't come in here without losing everything that he has. Corrosive Bile finally does kill the Mothership Core. That is very nice for a Zerg player, but meanwhile, big attacks. Roaches are rallying up here, but taking hits as they rally, and they're very, very weak. Blinking on top of the Ravagers here. Immortal in the back, just laying waste to the Ravagers. Already has 5 kills. Corrosive Bile trying to kill it, but not quite enough to get through the shields. Up to 6 kills now. 7 kills. The Stalkers, again, supplying a lot of DPS as well. Still hasn't managed to deal with this attack in the main base. Shadow in a lot of trouble here. 3 bases fully operational for the Protoss player. Again, an army in the main base, force fielding off this ramp, which I've always considered to be something of kind of a jerk move, in all honesty, but if it's effective, then hey, let's go ahead and do it. And Adept comes down here just to scout things out, and pretty much is going to get killed by this Queen and these Ravagers fairly quickly. Lings popping on out as well. The army trying to gather here. Another force field coming up. These guys want to take care of the spawning pool. They managed to get that. They want to kill these drones that are going to try to escape. Broodlings trying to get their revenge. That's not going to happen here. More Stalkers and Immortals coming up the front here. And the Lings are a pretty good answer to this particular combination, getting a nice surround, but I just don't think there are enough Lings to actually make this happen. The Immortal stuck in between those force fields in a weird position. And finally, all the Lings are completely dead. Holding the ramp here is Nabetse. Actually not killing these drones on the gas, which is surprising to me. But a bunch of units stuck on the ramp here. Enough DPS to take down that Queen. Replacement spawning pool on the way. Corrosive Bile being thrown down once more. All the mining is going on here at the 3rd base, but there is really no production. 8 Roaches on the way for Shadow, but is that going to be enough? With the 2 Immortals here, it's going to be close, especially because they're surrounded here. They are flanking on the Protoss player. Drones are being forced to pull off the line as well to try to deal with this Protoss menace. And finally, that's it. Shadow's defeated. Nabetse is victorious, and Shadow has left the game. So again, just continuous aggression from the Protoss player. In the end, the units lost tab shows 33 drones died for the Zerg player, 38 Roaches, 18 Ravagers, and meanwhile, Nabetse lost 19 Stalkers, which was quite a bit, but only 4 Adepts and only a single Immortal. So there's very cost-effective engagements all the way around. Protoss only lost 3,500 minerals and about 1,900 gas here, compared to 8,200 minerals and 2,700 gas for Shadow. And again, those 30 lost workers are just massive. Just such a problem for any Zerg player to handle. So I get the timing here was just kind of poor from Shadow. Didn't really take the 3rd base as early as he needed to. Didn't have the economy necessary to deal with a 2-basing Protoss, and a 3-basing Protoss was just out of the question. So in the end, the Zerg players learn from this particular replay. You want to get that 3rd up if you see Protoss going for the 2nd base. You want to recognize when there are attacks coming. Make your units when that is occurring. Don't make them sooner than that. I know the timing is hard, but practice and you'll figure it out. So thank you so much for watching today. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Thanks to everybody here who subscribed to my channel. I have hit 2,000 subscribers, which I'm very happy about. And onward and upward from here is what I always say. You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /FalconPaladin. Very easy to find. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.